Hello and welcome to the next part of Super Danganronpa Another 2. Last time we got the culprit. I was a bit too focused on accusing Shinji, so he blindsided me a little bit.
You just want Shinji to stop yelling. It's okay. Everyone wants Shinji to stop yelling.
To be fair, I voiced him, so...
You're just like, I do not want a yelly boy anymore. I had Kakeru. Unfortunately, you will have the yelly boy. The yelly boy will continue to be yours.
I just think it's...
I, on the other hand, get to lose one of my favorite person. No, I don't. Well, anyway, let's go.
No, I don't. Man.
Anyway.
Not really. It's kind of funny how I get the highest pitched girls and the lowest pitched guys.
I kind of like your lower register better than mine sometimes.
I disagree with that.
What? Really?
I do like your lower voice range a lot.
Oh! Ow!
And it's a pain to go that deep, you know?
Fair. I'm also just used to doing it because when you voice Willardo for several years, it kind of just becomes second nature, and then you can slip into his voice very, very easily. And then it just becomes really simple. And
No, I must say, Tsurugi is easy to do.
Yeah, I like your voice for him, actually.
And I don't need to go so low for him, because, like, with Kakeru, I'm just, like, trying to, like, force my voice.
You're reaching a lot, I can hear it. You're reaching into your chest. That's what I have to do for, Will, but it's second nature for me now because I've been doing it for so damn long.
Yeah, and Tsurugi is just like, if I had to say the location somewhere, actually more upper, more.
I do hear it. I do hear it.
It isn't low at all.
You take a specific cadence with him, and it's not that low, but the delivery is low enough to where it just works.
He's pretty comfy, actually.
Yeah. Your comfy voices, Kinjo and Kanata.
They are very easy to do.
Yeah, no, they work for your voice. Anyway.
I feel kind of sorry for him.
I do too. He's great.
I don't think he saw it coming either.
I don't think he thought that he wouldn't get away with it.
What? Wait a minute, Sora! You think Hajime's the culprit?
Well...
There's nobody aside from Hajime that meets all the conditions to be the culprit. He helped prepare the party and stayed late to drink with Yuri. He's the only one who was in both groups, and is a man as well.
Oh,
it's also strong.
Yeah, it's process of elimination.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Meh.
Precisely. I have been suspecting Hajime since the beginning.
How'd you know right off the bat?
You will remember my question at the start of the investigation.
Whether he wants to confess?
I asked, how do you feel about this murder?
That one.
Yes. But how is that relevant?
I can figure out whether a person is lying or not just by hearing them talk.
Whew, I can do that a little bit, not all the time. It's a nice skill to have, honestly.
I don't know if I can do that per voice, but rather body language.
Okay, I have a harder time picking up on cues. I have to know your tells to be able to identify them. So the longer I'm around you and the more I, like, you know, examine you, the easier that is for me. But I'm better at picking up, like, specific expressions, like looks specifically. Like, I can read people's eyes very well. And, like, the way they're talking.
What? So you knew Hajime was the culprit just from that one question?
That's why I knew what I did about Ash, though, by the way.
Even more magical ability than my own spells.
I mean, to be fair, Ash is, like, very suspicious.
Extreme. Okay. Literally, though, Aizeto fucking sprited his eyes in a way that make him so suspicious off the bat, and then the way he talks to you, and then the way he does certain things, I'm just like, no, you're sus as fuck.
Like, I was actually going through his route. I was like, oh man, you know what would be really super funny if he actually wasn't a bad person, if he just is like that. But no.
Yeah.
I cannot be completely sure of my deduction, naturally. But were I to narrow down my suspects, however, I can figure out the answer by simply comparing the evidence to each suspect. From that, my deduction is that the culprit is Hajime Makunochi.
Then Yuri's
He's keeping a
murderer,
decent poker face.
the person that attacked me. It was all him?
I mean,
Well,
if you think about it, he could absolutely incapacitate Yoriko very easily, and Yuri. Like that would not be hard for him. Like between him and Shinji, those are the two primes that would be able to do that easily. Especially with all the setup he'd have to do, like at the tower, and then also the stamina he would need. He has very good stamina. Also, the fact that he's enduring no sleep right now. There are not many people that can pull
shades.
that off.
He's
Yeah.
wearing shades.
He always wears shades, but yeah, that's funny that you bring that up.
I was wondering how someone would just be able to hide having no sleep at all. Because I can't hide that shit. I cannot.
I can't either. No.
But with
like-
shades.
Hajime naturally wears his shades all the time, so yeah, no one would question it. No one would question it because it's something he does every day.
Now I'm curious if he's gonna have a breakdown.
Let's see!
I cannot really imagine him having one, but we'll see.
Hey, hold on a damn second. Why am I the culprit all of a sudden?
It is kind of sudden, yes.
as fuck.
Don't you remember? I may fit the bill, but that doesn't change the fact that I was drunk.
I know the evidence for that one.
It's one of the last pieces.
The only person who wasn't drunk was Yoriko. Don't tell me you all forgot about that.
Yeah, that's true, but...
Last line of defense, I see.
I'm making
Yoriko
such a
was the
face at
only
him
sober
right
person at the
now.
party, and even she agrees I was drunk.
I'm
How
making
could I
such a face
possibly
at
have killed
Hajime.
Yuri?
Oh boy, you really don't have much to go on anymore, do you?
No, he does not.
You all said the culprit made serious preparations. Stuff like trial runs. Wouldn't that be impossible to do if you're drunk?
I mean, from the start, weren't you like a health nut? Why would you drink alcohol?
Because at the party, he said some alcohol is actually fine.
Ah, yeah. That was his excuse, I see. I remember.
So it makes me think he was lying for that, but also he's not entirely wrong because some alcohol actually is fine. Not all of it, but some of it.
Are you guys really accusing me as the culprit? Just because I fit your little conditions?
Oops, someone's cranky.
Yeah. And like, what was that quote again? No matter how unlikely it is, after you eliminate everything that is impossible, what remains must be the truth.
Yeah.
Because if you are, I'm about to get really mad.
I wonder how you look when you are, babe.
Try me.
Now, if we assume that Hajime is the culprit, every puzzle piece fits right into place. I suppose we should discuss just how those pieces fit as our next discussion. Wow, time for an Osiria debate. Wow. Love Showboy's still sleeping. So it would be the leftover bottles, because,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
The culprit couldn't have planned out their crimes while drunk. So they must have been someone who didn't consume alcohol.
Yeah.
Right! There's no way Hajime's the culprit.
Shinji, please make judgments based on logic.
not your friendship.
Call him out.
There's plenty of reasons why Hajime is suspicious.
No matter how suspicious I am, I couldn't have done anything while I was drunk.
Last
Ask
line of the
Yotoko and check
defense.
yourself.
What Hajime just said is true. Including Hajime, everyone who stayed to enjoy the party last night were completely drunk.
No, that's wrong!
Get fucked.
Beep, 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 beep.
I love how the trials are set up in 2.
Dave definitely feels so much fancier.
Everyone was completely drunk last night? I'm not so sure about that.
What are you saying?
I found these liquor bottles in the guest house, and some of them were filled with water.
Water?
At first, I thought it was mixed in during the whole mess of alcohol being brought to the party. But now that I think about it, it's possible that the culprit was just pretending to be drunk and drank water instead.
Oop. That reaction, though.
That's not a good poker face you're spotting now, boy.
Wait a minute. I don't remember much because of my foggy memory, but are you saying
Yeah,
that
you were
someone
drunk.
was just acting as if they were drunk?
If Hajime was acting drunk during the party, he knew we would cross him off the suspect list.
He's got nothing to say to that.
There's more to it than just that.
If I'm on the right track, something I heard earlier should...
You were cutting out.
Fuck! If I'm on the right track, something I heard earlier should further condemn Hajime.
Alright, this time it was okay, I guess.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway. That something is...
Oh no. I didn't pay attention.
There should be something else that further condemns Hajime. That is such a vague statement.
Yeah, but it should be Shinji's account.
Yeah.
Or not. Okay.
Crap!
Oh no. That was about Yuriko, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about Yuriko.
Okay, which was it?
Wait a minute, is it Yuriko's? Because, like... The only reason I say that is because he's in the group that went back late. He was in the group of late partygoers, so is it hers?
Oh, I can try.
Got it!
Huh.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose
I
it.
remember what you told me earlier.
That... okay.
I'm
We were
so
getting
annoyed.
ahead of ourselves, it seems.
You said Yuri left to go to the washroom before you all went back to the monocruise.
Yes, I did.
Didn't you also say that someone else left with Yuri at that time?
That wasn't said in this trial, that was said in the investigation and I do not remember.
Yeah, it was. That's why I remembered that point. I had to sit for a minute. I was like, fuck, what we talked about.
You
Someone
said you
else left
couldn't
with Yuri.
remember
Yeah,
who
she did say
person
that.
was, but do you think that person could have been Hajime?
Huh? Give me a second to think. Well,
Wait, I think I remember. That person told us to go ahead while he took Riri to the washroom. They told us they'd follow us back right after. They had
Hajime.
blonde hair and bulky muscles. It was Mac.
Oop! Didn't expect her to remember.
Whoopsie. That was risky though. From him. Super risky.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe it was. I wasn't paying much attention back then because I was under the influence. The thought that a murder would occur had hardly crossed my mind that night.
you both remember? Jeez, why can't I remember?
Even the
Because
drunk people
we're
remember what
careless.
happened. Why couldn't you, Yoriko?
Do you hate her? Do you hate her? Just like, man.
Kanade, keep fucking grilling her. I appreciate you, thanks.
Because your brain has more air bubbles than last night's booze?
I love you! The
Ouch.
fucking shade!
Man.
I can't take note of everything while I'm completely absorbed in taking care of drunk people.
Sure.
I mean,
That's just that you just admitted that means that you weren't taking close attention to all the drunk people.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the anesthesia that was used on her also fucked with her memory. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure the anesthesia was only used on Yuri.
So she was just knocked out normally, I guess.
Yeah.
Why are you being so harsh with me?
Because your bad memory frustrates me.
Mood!
Had you remembered, we could have pinned down the culprit much faster than we did.
That's true.
But thanks to the testimonies from the others, I think we've got the culprit set in stone. Yuri must have been completely drunk. He couldn't even walk on his own.
I mean,
fact-
man's...
Wouldn't he nearly be out cold, considering the fact that he didn't refuse help from a man like Hajime?
I think... Yuri's is Russian, okay? Man's drinks. Holds his alcohol like a trooper.
Yeah, he should. Actually.
Should.
So
Oh, that
Hajime
means
lied
that-
about Yuri going to the washroom and left off with him, then never came back to the mono cruise.
Okay, hold on. If Yuri was like delirious drunk, I think Hajime was already giving him portions of the anesthetic to like keep him under awares.
Probably. Because yeah, Yuri doesn't seem like the type of guy who would just black out drunk so easily.
Yeah, and he also can't. He would have Hajime would have to keep him up all night too. So probably couldn't give him too much anesthetic so he didn't pass out, and also make sure that he was too drunk, drunk enough to fall asleep. So he would have had to. Good God, man! Are you dragging him around all night while you did your preparations? Shit.
Oh, Yuri had a time.
Yuri had an ordeal.
Considering Hajime as the culprit allows everything we've talked about so far to make perfect sense. Hajime, did you really murder Yuri?
I'll extinguish ya!
Why are you
You
yelling
ready?
at me?
Wait!
2 in 1 chapter?
Oh, this is this happens.
Man, don't yell at me. I didn't do anything wrong.
He's
Hajime
yelling.
has an alibi, please. Let me explain.
Sweetie, no, he doesn't.
I see, I get to use your own words against you, eh?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
fighting
Oops.
with words isn't my thing, but I'll have to do it to fight you, Sora. I have to do it for my friend.
Oh my God.
Oh god, what was
Shouldn't you
the...
please?
What was it again?
It was his account. Oh, the controls. S to notch, and unnotch, and you cannot do it while it's notched.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna keep hitting you.
Always, I was waiting for him this morning. Like I said, while I was waiting, I saw Yoroku leaving the mono cruise. Hajime did arrive a little bit later than usual, but committing murder in that small gap is impossible. He's a cool guy. When a man's got a gun,
Yeah,
he's
so-
gotta go. You can't blame him for that.
Oh, and if you need to look at the truth arrows, it's A.
Shinji, don't you think the fact that he arrived late itself rouses suspicion? Hajime is pretty strict about time as far as I know. Even if what you said is true, something about his actions are strange.
Yes, they're certainly strange.
Which one was it again?
Discovery announcement was made. Hajime was with us at the dining hall.
Okay, so he's pressed on the part about time, that he wouldn't have enough time to commit the murder.
What was the last one? Anesthetic solution? Spiral staircase? I do not appreciate it. I do not have the time to probably
And
look
then
into
calf
stuff.
stab wounds was on there too. I just don't remember the were four arrows. Yeah, this was one of Haw's gripes too. No, there is 3. Okay, anesthetic, spiral, and calf wounds, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay,
Like-
anesthetic, spiral, and calf wounds. Okay, I see them. Senji is arguing that Hajime has a solid alibi. If I can refute his point, Hajime won't have any more arguments to defend himself. Let's think carefully. They're both based on time. I would try using the stairs then.
Man, it makes no sense to me.
That's the thing. I'm blind shotting, but the staircase is the only piece of evidence that makes sense here.
Yeah.
Because the calf wounds don't have anything to do with time. And the anesthetic solution is only applicable for knocking out Yuri. The reason why I think the staircase would work, bringing it up in discussion, is because then Sora can make a callback to the jacket and the hook, which would then lead into the calf wounds. That's how I think they're gonna organize. So I think you have to put the staircase on Yellow Point 2 in the second phase.
That's kind of around 5 corners, but alrighty then.
Wouldn't have returned in time to meet with
I'll pierce through those words.
Thank God,
Alrighty.
I was right. I was trying to remember the logic behind that argument, or at least what happens in the trial after that, to be like, why was this option a thing? And I remember now.
Sure, I'm curious how they're gonna make that work though. That's still like, why?
I kind of explained it, but I think they'll go into it in a second.
I do not like indirect evidence.
I don't either, and it sometimes happens in this game, which gets a little frustrating, but, you know, it did that in 1 too.
Nothing as bad as this one. I would remember
I do agree with that.
But
I don't know, the rubber ball pissed me off something fierce.
It was extremely weird, but I must say our theory did end up being rather similar.
I know.
Sorry, Shinji. Hajime actually could have easily made it back in time. The body discovery announcement was made some time after Yuri's death.
Ah. That's the... I still can't bullshit.
Wait for her to explain.
I mean, I know what she means. She and Yuki had to go up all the way to the tower, which is like 5 minutes. And then Yoriko probably had to like go down. I don't remember actually anymore really. Had to go down all the way back again, which is like at least 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course. The announcement is only made when 3 or more people discover the body. There was no announcement when Sora and I saw Yuri's corpse.
And they also had to wake Yoriko up.
Yep. I think I would have preferred if the weak spot had been like really directly, like he couldn't have been there when the announcement came on. Or what was the weak spot again? I was so distracted with crushing it down. I didn't read it properly.
It's, the reason why the spiral staircase comes up is because it adds more time until the body discovery.
Yeah.
Monoko announced the discovery only after we ran to the top and met Yoriko, and she also saw the body.
So, did it go something like this? From Yuri's death to the body discovery announcement, the culprit had extra time to move around while Sora and Yuki climbed up the stairs.
Yep.
As everyone who used the stairs during the investigation knows, it takes at least 5 minutes to get to the top. Of course, the culprit was able to quickly get down safely by jumping off the tower using his fulcrum mechanism. This is a small island. If you run fast enough from the bell tower to the Mono Cruise, wouldn't it be possible to meet with everyone else at the dining hall before the announcement?
Then
Wait, but didn't Shinji say he went jogging with Hajime? Yuri died at 7:30 a.m. If they went jogging together right after the morning announcement, how did Hajime kill Yuri?
Shinji and I briefly parted ways while jogging. But that was just to get your crow card that you left at the guest house, right?
Hajime, why are you arguing against yourself?
And even that didn't take more than 10 minutes! Executing this whole murder plan in such a short time isn't possible.
It
There's
is.
one thing that keeps bothering me. Do we agree that the culprit attacked Yuko right after the door opened, and then they carried her to the top of the tower? If so, they attacked Yuko and moved her to the bell tower at 7 o'clock on the dime. Returned to the Mono Cruise and met with Shin, started jogging, parted with him, and went to the top of the tower again. Checked that you and Rava were there, and murdered Riri by jumping off. Dealt with the rope and the life vest, and then came back to the Mono Cruise.
For someone with his stamina, it is possible.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how a guy that is such a health nut like him would go with such a risky plan. Like, jeez.
We will get there.
All within such a short period of time?
Shinji, at what time did you meet with Hajime this morning?
Well, it was around 7:15 a.m.
Even if we say the culprit ambushed Yoriko at 7 a.m., 5 minutes to run to the tower, 5 minutes to rush up the stairs, 5 minutes to rush back down, 5 minutes back to the cruise. There just wouldn't be enough time, even if Hajime buffed up his strength somehow.
Oh, there'd be enough time, alright. All you have to do was remove a step, and all the pieces fit perfectly into place.
He never had to go down the stairs.
Ah,
Remove a step? Were the stairs the only way down? No. He could have slid down the rope, as if he were riding an elevator. Didn't he already adjust their rope length for that?
Ah, that makes sense.
But wasn't the rope that connected to the life vest also connected to Yuri's body? Yuri died at 7:30 a.m., but if he rode the rope at that time, he would have killed Yuri after jumping. That's still a problem.
it means Yuri did indeed go through a time.
He just had to get rid of the rope's connection with Yuri.
Gestures to the calf
Simply
wounds.
yanked out the hook from Yuri's calf while he was carrying Yoriko to the top.
Yep. Mans went through it.
Not a lot of people wander outside in the morning, and Hajime would be the first person to enter the bell tower. Wouldn't everything be solved if we assumed that he put it back into Yuri's leg?
That's right. There was another wound on Yuri's body.
Ooh. The Hajime must have a lot of nerve to just be able to do that. However, a normal person, a normal person wouldn't be able to also just put a hook through someone's leg twice.
He's doing what he needs to.
Everyone else would have like just tied them with a knot. Gee.
It must have been because of that. The wound he had was...
Got it! The mysterious stab wound on Yuri's right calf. Kanade's hypothesis would explain how that wound was created in the first place. Initially, the hook was in Yuri's right calf, But in order to save time after moving Yoriko to the top, the culprit used it as a mode of transportation.
In other words, the culprit took out the hook from his right calf to move down, then hooked it back into Riri's left calf when he returned?
I am having a bit trouble to understand this. Wait. Just to move down, he went up the stairs normally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, and then he just put the hook on, like, I don't know, the railing?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because for some reason I was like, so he still used the pulley like an elevator? With what? With what when Yuri's leg isn't there? But alright.
Yeah.
Just normal. Normal using of rope.
After meeting with Shinji, the only thing left for him was to take his plan into action. So when he saw Yuki and Sora making their way to the top of the bell tower, he jumped down to kill Yuri.
Wait, Rara. You said a while ago that the culprit used wires to slow the falling and cushion the impact.
But wait a minute. That means he must have made the second wound very fast. Right?
He's strong.
Yuri really be going through it.
Yeah.
But if he used the rope before the murder like you just said, doesn't that mean there was nothing to cushion the impact?
Ah, that's true. The wires cutting Yuri's body would break the fall when the culprit killed him. But if he jumped with nothing but a small hook on the other side, there wouldn't be anything to slow him down.
Ah, so they're having the same problem I have.
Yeah.
Or I had.
Isn't this a bit problematic? I remember Miss Little Sis saying anyone who fell from that height would get their shoulders crushed.
No, it's not a problem this time. I know this sounds like I'm contradicting my own words, but unlike back then, we know for sure who the culprit is.
Ah, you mean the power of muscle.
Yeah. Exactly what she's about to talk about.
The culprit? Are you speaking of Hajime?
Earlier, I said anyone would end up with a shoulder injury because I didn't know who the culprit was. But Hajime is the ultimate boxer. Wouldn't he be able to withstand some degree of impact with his great physique? After all, no one cares more about their health than he does. The life vest also would have absorbed some of the impact, right?
Yep.
But doesn't that sound a bit unrealistic? And even if he could survive the fall, that doesn't explain why he would bother setting up those wires. Why waste time preparing a braking system when you can just endure the impact in the first place?
I mean, endure it once, endure it twice.
Yeah, I think it's just to endure it once.
In your opinion, whom amongst us would possess the fortitude necessary to pull off such a feat?
Huh? Well, based on pure muscle, I guess Hajime or Big Bro?
You see, the list of potential culprits has instantaneously been reduced to 2 individuals.
Yep.
Huh?
Oh, I get it. The fact that they were set up could be so the culprit could use their existence as an alibi. If there weren't any breaks, the second that jumping trick was revealed, our first question would obviously be, who could endure the impact?
Exactly. Of course, he also might have still needed a safety device to lessen the pain of the full impact. Regardless of whether or not Hajime ended up enduring the impact, it's a definitive truth that the culprit jumped twice from the top of the bell tower, and therefore our conclusion would also be correct. Perhaps we should also examine Hajime's shoulders and see if we find any other condemning evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The culprit would have had plenty of time at night to estimate the strength of the impact through experimentation.
He is not showing his shoulders right now.
He always does that, though.
Yeah.
If I may interject, Yuki stated that he received a message from Yuri asking for assistance, but the existence of this correspondence in itself is extremely suspicious.
Yep.
Yuri,
Yeah.
with his acute miss injury, reaching out to another man on the verge of his own death. Is it not unnatural?
Most certainly. Yuki even said that Yuri was delighted at the idea of being killed by a woman. It's definitely not the attitude of someone who would ask for help if such a thing had actually happened.
The message was probably sent to Yuki by Hajime, using Yuri E Handbook Plus to create an alibi. That way, he'd be able to make whoever witnessed the murder scene run up to the top of the tower to catch the culprit.
Now I see why he used a syringe with measurements on it to inject the anesthetic. It was to make sure that Yuri woke up the second Sora and I got to the tower.
So, Jimmy was really thinking that far ahead when he planned the murder?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Hey! Why are you all so confident that Hajime's the culprit?
Sorry, Shinji,
use
but
brain.
Yeah.
Shinji, use brain. Use brain. Use brain. Use brain.
I know you're in denial because he's your friend, but...
So the culprit
Yeah.
set up wires not only to cushion the impact, but to confuse us and set up an alibi. And
Oh.
then he used the rope to move down. I'd say that theory checks out.
Yeah.
But why did he put the hook in Yuri's leg and then take it back out? He could have gone down the tower with the rope first and then put it in his leg.
Could it be, perchance, that Miss Kabuya's interference threw a wrench into the culprit's machinations?
Through a wrench?
Allow me to explain my
Interrupted.
reasoning. Being unable to enter the monocruise once the slumbering hours occurred, the culprit was left with no option but to wait until morning. Therefore, it was crucial that they board the ship the moment the gates opened so they could play the part of the innocent.
Ah!
Ah.
She would have saw him. No witnesses.
But Miss Kabuya stated that she exited the monocruise the instant the gates opened. Perhaps the two had a fateful encounter.
Why do you have to phrase it like that, babe? Stop.
Thus, the culprit had no choice but to ambush her in order to eliminate any possibility of her going to the bell tower. It would have completely jeopardized his carefully laid out plans, after all.
Yeah.
I agree with Mikado. If you think about it, jumping off the top of the bell tower like that without anything to cushion your fall is just insane. It would have been a risky gamble, even for Hajime. He wouldn't have done it unless he was forced to, due to some outside interference. But, like, why did Ruko even go out that early in the morning? It makes her super suspicious, you know?
I mean, I don't know. One could have,
I don't know,
like,
but it's not important right now.
Yeah.
We know who the culprit is.
I don't know, maybe she just, I don't know, likes the morning air. Whatever.
Maybe she just wants to get the fuck off the boat first thing in the morning so she's not... No, people get cabin fever, Beaky. I don't fucking know.
I told you already. I just wanted to get a head start on my investigation. With everyone's morale being boosted from the party, I felt motivated to really give it my all. But the murder made the whole thing pointless, of course. Well, I think we finally put all the pieces together. Is there anything we're missing, Hajime?
Hey! Hajime, I still believe in you.
Shinji, shush
Why are you just
Shinji's
standing
face.
there? Tell them they're wrong.
Oh man.
I think he has given up.
What a sprite.
Just, yeah.
See that? His underboob is
Everything they
revealed.
said seems to line up nicely. I'm not sure where to start.
Yeah. And he has argued against him for a moment.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because you're guilty?
That's enough! Don't you believe in your friends at all? You're all teaming up on me with weak, bullshit speculation.
Come on.
There's nothing else to say.
Well, that ain't exactly a defense.
Not really, no. Alright.
This is different and easier than the last TTS. I think you'll do fine.
That's something.
because it's on a track, so it's easier to navigate and then shoot the statements.
During Terminate Talk shooting, you have to present a final decisive piece of evidence in order to defeat a desperate opponent using irrational arguments to defend themselves. Before you can present the evidence, you must break off pieces of the opponent's armor one by one. The screen will display a total of 8 lines, and the opponent's argument will appear randomly on each line. Move the cursor over a piece of dialogue and press Z to neutralize the opponent's argument. Can I use another thing too? I don't like using Z. Yeah, it's getting a bit dark and I cannot see my my keyboard as well. Just put finger on Z.
Finger on Z.
The opponent's arguments have their own HP, which can be discerned by their color. The maximum amount of HP is 5, and the arguments with HP of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will be displayed in gray, purple, blue, green, and yellow. I will not remember that.
I will. It's okay.
You cannot move the cursor to the empty space in the middle.
Basically, it goes from dark colors to light colors per how much damage there is. Like for how many more shots. So just remember, dark needs more shots, yellow is 1 hit.
The lower left screen will display your ammunition, which will decrease by 1 when you fire a bullet. Really? You want me to use Z, but then use Shift to reload?
Yeah!
You may reload by pressing Shift, which has a short delay. Try to time it well. Occasionally, you will see a black argument on the screen. This is the opponent's true feelings. True feelings are comments arising from the weaker parts of the opponent's heart. If you shoot them, you will take damage instead. Okay.
Yeah, don't shoot black. That's all.
Should your opponent's true feelings arise, don't shoot it and just let it fade on its own. After breaking all layers of your opponent's armor, you'll have an opportunity to present a final piece of evidence that will defeat your opponent. Use the correct arrow keys corresponding to the correct set of words to put together the evidence that will answer the given output on the meat bone.
Yeah.
If you press them in the correct order, you will deliver a decisive blow that will destroy the last piece of your opponent's armor and clear the minigame. Fair warning though, if you mess up the order of the final move even once, your opponent will regain some of the health and go back into the tirade. I see.
Yep. Just like the last game.
What a load of crap. You've got no proof. Why are you suspecting me? That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. This guy's really falling for this shit. Logic is bullshit.
Yeah,
You've
you're...
got no evidence. What a load of crap. That ain't convincing. You've got no proof. What's the point?
Don't touch that one.
Really I refuse to believe this.
Yeah, don't touch black.
Bullshit. You've got no evidence. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. A load of crap. You've got no proof. Why are you suspecting me? It's over. I refuse to believe this. This guy's really falling for this shit. Logic is bullshit. You've got no evidence. What a load of crap. That ain't convincing. I'm done for. Why are you suspecting
This is kind of sad.
Really falling for this shit?
Yeah,
to believe this.
It happens with each culprit too.
You've got no evidence. That ain't convincing. You guys really falling for this shit? I refuse to believe this. A load of crap. You've got no proof. I refuse
You get to strip them, Rina.
Yeah.
Why are you suspecting me? It's over.
Ooh, that was close.
Crap. Why are you suspecting me? Got no proof. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. You've got no evidence. A load of crap. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. Logic is bullshit. Why are you suspecting me? You guys really falling for this shit? You've got no evidence. A load of crap. Why are you suspecting me? That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this.
You're doing pretty good though.
A load of crap. That ain't convincing.
Meh.
I refuse to believe this. Logic is bullshit.
Yeah, a
Don't
lot of
praise
it's...
me. I will fuck up.
You've got no evidence. A load of crap! Why are you suspecting me? Got no proof. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. You've got no evidence. A load of crap. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. Your logic is bullshit. Why are you suspecting me? You guys really falling for this shit? You've got no evidence. A load of crap. Why are you suspecting me? Got no proof. That ain't convincing. You've got no proof. Why are you suspecting me? That ain't convincing. Your logic is bullshit. You guys really falling for this shit? I refuse to believe this. You've got no evidence. What's the point? It's over.
Yeah, just try to reload during downtime.
No evidence. Your logic is bullshit. A load of crap. You've got no proof. You've got no evidence. Why are you suspecting me? I refuse to believe this. You've got no proof. Why are you suspecting me? That ain't convincing. Your logic is bullshit. You guys really falling for this shit? I refuse to believe this. It's over. A load of crap. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. You've got no evidence. Your logic is bullshit. What's the point? You've got no proof. You've got no evidence. Why are you suspecting me? I refuse to believe this. You've got no proof. What's the point? That ain't convincing. Your logic is bullshit. I refuse to believe this. You've got no evidence. A load of crap. That ain't convincing. Tell me why
Unusual
the hell I'm
behavior for
suspicious.
Hajime.
Yeah. Usual behavior for Hajime?
Unusual behavior for Hajime.
Unusual behavior for Hajime.
This is the egg.
Meat bone.
No! Stop!
Art boxers.
You're looking kind of pitiful.
It's alright. Yay!
Alright.
Hey, Hajime, are you really going to insist that you were drunk? You, Hajime Makinochi, got completely drunk?
Yeah.
That's not like you at all, Hajime.
Nobody in our group cares more about their health than you, Hajime. I thought it was kind of strange that you were drinking at the party. You did say drinking a bit was good for your health, but you've made it sound like you drank way more than that.
And I just can't see someone like you not being able to restrain themselves from drinking.
There's a little thing called mood at a party, you know? I'm human just like the rest of you.
Yeah, no.
Uh-huh.
Even
Sure,
I can
bud.
cut loose and ignore my health for a bit.
No.
Mac, I just remembered. You were the one who invited Riri to the party, weren't you?
Yep, he was.
Yep.
Right. He suggested that we invite Yuri, saying he's not entirely a bad person.
Yep, he is the one who said that.
And then, we hadn't forgotten to talk about the importance of health.
Damn it! Hajime, what the hell were you thinking?
So, like, the breadcrumbs are all there, but they're really subtle.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Shinji has started to believe it as well.
Shinji upsetty. He's
Yeah.
upset spaghetti.
I'm not the culprit.
Have it your way. Let's review this case from the start.
Oh my
then
god.
You'll have no choice but to admit to your crimes.
The minigame closing argument is about to start. Would you like to hear an explanation yet? In the closing argument, you have to recap the events of the case in the format of a 4-frame comic strip. The top left screen will show the total number of pages, and you will have to complete a separate comic strip for each page. Some frames cut pieces will be given at the bottom of the screen. Choose a piece with the left and right arrow keys and put them in the order from first to last. Press A to check specific details about the selected frame cut, which should help you figure out its placement in the strip. As the difficulty rises, more frames cuts will be given. The product will still be a 4-frame comic, but fake frames cuts will be present. Once a page is completed, you will then proceed to review it. If you think you assembled the pieces correctly, press Z to check the answer. Otherwise, you may reset the page by pressing X. There's no penalty for resetting the page, but if your answer is incorrect, your focus gauge will take damage and points will be deduced. After all pages are completed, the explanation will follow. Sora will give an explanation of the case with the completed comic strip and ultimately reveal the identity of the culprit. You'll have to start over from the first page if your focus gauge is completely emptied. Yep, so do your best to avoid that. Alright. Very
Here we go.
small.
Yeah, it is. You can blow them up to look at them, so that helps. Also, I love how all of them are little CGs. They're so cute.
Okay, this should be the first one.
Hmm?
Then this one.
Yeah.
Then the party.
Mhm.
Then Yuki. Yeah.
And then, yeah, confirm.
Pictures for ants.
Yeah, they are.
Set up. Drunk.
Fucking dork.
Oh. I didn't actually mean...
I think that's the right order anyway. I think it's that one, then the drinks, then the party, and then Yuri.
Okay. Z isn't the only thing I can press, apparently. And also, I'm angry again.
Oh no, what happened?
Pressing A does that to you.
Oh. It shouldn't.
Shortcut.
Yeah. Oh, it's making you angries.
Yes.
You might have to reassign that shortcut.
Maybe. Maybe. But A for angry is easy to remember.
It is.
Let's check.
Yeah.
Anesthesia. Bell tower. Nighttime. Okay. These. Probably anesthesia first. I think.
I'm trying to remember. You can try it, but I think it might be the other way around. Oh wait, no. What is the description on the anesthetic one? Okay, the phrasing of this makes me think that it's the other one first. Because takes and then kidnapped for phrasing. You see what I mean?
Let's try.
I was right.
Yuri must have been really out of it, though.
Mans was enduring some shit.
Unexpected appearance. Okay, this one. This one. This one. This one. Carry Sirocco to the top of the bell tower. jumping straight. Yeah, so he did use the anesthesia on her.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. It's been so long that some of the details are kind of fuzzy to me.
Okay, it should be this. Then this. This. Hood back into Yuri's other calf. Ah, wrong button. Parts with Shinji to make a made-up excuse. Ready to put this plan into action, the Cobalt sends a message to Yuki. Ugh. Well, I think this one should come first. Would be hard to like put it in when Yuki and Sora are already there. Then technically this meets up with Shinji. It's kind of mean that they give a fake one, which also still fits. But yeah, it should be this one. Then he makes up an excuse. And then messages Yuki. And the other stuff comes later. Oh. Which one was it?
Okay, so let me think of the order again. So he kidnaps Yuri, goes to the Mono Cruise in the morning, kidnaps Yoriko, comes back to Shinji, jogs with him for a bit, like he meets Shinji, leaves Shinji, goes back to the bell tower, does all the fuck shit, calls Yuki, and then commits the shit. So it would probably be one where he meets Shinji first, then the one where he leaves Shinji, and then the hook, then the text, and then the thing at the top of the tower. I think is the order.
Wait, so the hook... Okay, yeah, that would be possible.
Yeah, because he has to call Yuki first. So I think it's this one. It's this one first.
Then leaving?
Yeah, then leaving. Then the hook. Then the text. Yeah, so it gave you a red herring. Yep.
Yeah, I guess he would have had too little time to do it at that point.
Yeah.
But he generally had super little time.
I also just remembered what they were saying during the trial, and they were pretty specific about how he went back and forth.
Arrived at the bell tower.
Okay.
Okay, this one should be first. Then he sees that they arrived.
Yeah. And what's the other one?
It
Okay,
kind of
I think
happens
it would
at
be
the same
this
time.
one. I think it would be this one first. Because Yuri raising is a reaction to him doing that.
Yeah. Yuki and I discover Yuri's corpse. Possible incriminating evidence. Ah, that wasn't what I intended.
I think you have to fill it out and then, because I don't think you can remove it. Yeah, you can press cancel. Cool. Okay.
Well, first, this one, I think. What was this one again?
It would be the one where he's being pulled up.
Then he's cutting the rope.
Yeah.
Then he falls to his death. He could do both at the same time.
I'm mixed on this too.
Maybe because he's still getting rid of evidence that this would happen first?
I think so. We'll see. If it's not that, then that's the other one. Wow!
No.
Nah. Okay, that one's definitely last. Okay, that one's probably first, unless I don't know what the one on the right is. Okay, yeah. It's the one with Sora first.
That could also happen first.
Yeah, this is okay. I think it's Sora, that one, the BDA, and then the last one.
So Sora running BDA.
No, the BDA on the right. Because the body discovery announcement rings. But for the discovery of the body, and then Hajime's already at the... Oh, before the... Okay, I see now. Yeah, it is, 3, 4, 2, 5. For image order. If that's not right, then the first two images need to switch.
This is the truth of the case.
I remember the bullshit this game pulls.
It all began when Yuri started saying all that.
Oh, thank
weird
God, this is
stuff
voice.
about
My
wanting
voice
to
can
die
rest.
for a single
Yeah,
woman.
I was worried about that.
He knew we were all growing desperate, so he offered any girl the chance to kill him and escape. Unfortunately, his words caught the attention of this case's culprit. If Yuri had been killed, everyone would suspect a woman of being the culprit. The culprit used this to their advantage in the murder. However, Yuri had locked himself away and only answered to women. Setsuka decided she wanted to host a surprise party to get everyone to cheer up. Our culprit saw this party as a critical part of their plan. After getting himself involved with the party setup, he was able to convince everyone to invite Yuri. While preparing the party, our culprit took the opportunity to swap some of the drinks with alcohol. This was to make sure people would get drunk. It wasn't long after the party started when Yuri, a man who was fond of alcohol, had become completely intoxicated. both our culprit and the victim drank late into the night until they had to return to the Mono Cruise. Once the party reached its end, our culprit helped Yuri and slipped away from the others. As a result, both the culprit and the victim were left all alone at night outside the Mono Cruise. Once separated, the culprit took our victim directly to the bell tower. Since this all took place at night, there were no witnesses or interruptions that could affect them. Yuri was already passed out from being drunk, but to be extra sure, our culprit used a syringe to inject him with an anesthetic solution that would keep him out for a long time. Since our culprit had plenty of time until morning, he took some time to practice his method. It was during this practice that they made sure all of their measurements were perfect. Once the culprit was satisfied with their preparations, they had to wait outside until morning. Once the morning announcement went off, our culprit was going to enter the Mono Cruise. However, as soon as the doors opened, Yoriko stepped out of the Mono Cruise. If she had gone to the bell tower, this whole case would have been ruined for the culprit. The culprit had no choice but to inject her with the remaining anesthetic and moved her to the bell tower. Although the decision was made in the moment, it actually ended up driving suspicion away from them. During this time, the culprit had become late to the morning jog with Shinji, so they had to hurry. So, they removed the hook from Yuri's right calf while moving Yoriko. Going both up and down the stairs would take too much time, so they decided to use the hook as a means of transportation. With Yoriko in tow, the culprit rushed to the top of the bell tower. With the hook detached, our culprit quickly jumped off the tower using their fulcrum method. Normally, they would injure themselves without the weight of Yuri and the wires to slow them down, but they decided to take a risk and put their faith into their fitness and health.
I am curious whether he actually sustained some damages due to this.
I am too. I don't remember that many details about that specifically. It's been a while.
For our culprit, his talent was perfect for something like this.
My brain remembers
The
cases
culprit,
4
who
through
had
6
stolen
much
his
easier.
avatar, joined with Shinji in the Mono Cruise. During the jog, our culprit made an excuse to depart from Shinji for a moment. Returning to the bell tower, the culprit rearranged the hook placement. They couldn't reuse the right calf, as it had been completely torn up, so they inserted it into the left calf. This is the reason he had wounds on both of his calves. Once everything was ready, the culprit used Yuri's e-handbook plus to send a distress message to Yuki. As Yuki received the distress message, our culprit quickly made their way up to the bell tower. Once the culprit heard that we had arrived and Yuri had woken up, the culprit jumped off the bell tower once again, this time with the intention of murder. Yuri, who was connected to the life jacket via the hooks, was sent flying into the air. As Yuri flew up, he was cut by several sharp wires that had been set up by the culprit. The culprit, now safely on the ground, cut the rope, and Yuri was sent falling downwards to finish him off. Since there was nothing to slow his fall, it was without a doubt the true cause of death. Yuri, who we had just witnessed alive a moment earlier, was now a bloody mess on the ground. This is the truth of Yuri's death as Yuki and I had witnessed it. Once we saw the gruesome sight, we decided to rush up the stairs, hoping to find the culprit at the top. While we rushed to the top, the culprit disposed of the life jacket and was hurried towards the Mono Cruise. Doing so would give them an alibi when the body discovery announcement went off. Fortunately for them and their fitness, they were able to make it back in time for the announcement. Right after the body discovery announcement, the culprit made their way to the bell tower with everyone else. In doing so, they reacted innocently with everyone else and pretended to be shocked by the event. However, this was all an act. In truth, they had been the one to kill Yuri.
Oh, what the fuck, Hajime?
You'll see.
That culprit is without a doubt.
You, Hajime Makunochi, the ultimate boxer.
Ow! Yuri! Trial over!
It's over, Hajime. You are the culprit.
Well, I guess I can't argue against that. Does that mean? It can't be helped. They got it all right.
Unfortunately,
sorry,
you will be missed, King.
but-
I do not understand. I am curious to understand why.
You know, all culprits do a little monologue at the end. We'll get there.
I'm the culprit.
I think I have to voice it all, though. Once the trial's over.
Now please shower me in crow.
Delicious.
Eh.
Aw. Our experience! Yay! Well, thank God. How many crow, though? Awesome!
A fair amount, I would say.
Yeah, okay. So, the skills are really expensive. So, we get so much more crow points than we did with mono coins. Yay! Yay!
Me.
That's why it's nice to have good ranks, because you get extra money.
Have we reached a conclusion? That wasn't nearly as interesting as I thought it would be.
What?
Okay, Monocro.
Are you ready to see if your answer is right or wrong? As a warning, you only have one chance. I will assume that you've had enough time and proceed to the voting.
Ladies and gentlemen, use the panel in front of you to vote for who you believe to be the culprit. Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What is it going to be?
He's so cute, I just want to squish his little pudgy feathers.
I am curious.
Mr. Hajime's. Wow.
That's a lot of fanfare.
Yeah, it is. Yay! Class trial over! Yay!
Wee.
Do you like to save your progress? Yeah, it's kinda... Yeah, you might get to hear him monologue next time, Rina. It's long.
Oh boy. I mean, we could put a cliffhanger right here.
That's why I said that. I think it's a good place to put one.
Alrighty. Then we shall see what the heck is wrong with Hajime next time.
Yep.
So, until then, goodbye.